Chucking friends. Welcome. We are inking tonight. Mama needs a new sweatshirt. Mama's going on vacation and she needs a new sweatshirt. So we're making me a new sweatshirt. Even though I'm going someplace warm, you wouldn't think I'd need a new sweatshirt, but I do. We're going to do work hard, play hard. And this super cute little sweatshirt that I have here. So I'm going to show you how to take this amazing transfer and create yourself something fun to wear. Because don't you ever have that where you kind of go in your closet and you're like, it's the same t-shirts and sweatshirts from last year and the year before and the year before, and maybe Mama needs something new. So boom, come down in my basement. We bought this sweatshirt to give to somebody at Christmas, and I gave them something else. So I had a sweatshirt. Like already, I'm like, well, that'll fit me, and it's a cute color. I could use that. And so here we go. Because sometimes it's more fun to use things that you have. I've even at times when I just needed a little pick-me-up, gone in my closet and inked on a sweatshirt that or a t-shirt or sweatshirt for that matter that I've already owned, that I've worn. Because, you know, sometimes they just need a little pick-me-up. So it's really a fun way to kind of add a new dimension, a new element to your clothing, because you know what? Who doesn't have a white t-shirt in their closet, right? Everybody has a white t-shirt in their closet, and sometimes you just get sick and tired of that white t-shirt. So you need a little something fun. So we're going to do work hard, play hard, and we're doing work hard, play hard because I worked really, really hard, and thank you to all of you. I worked really, really hard, and because you are all so amazing and so wonderful, I earned a trip to Hawaii with Chalk Couture. People like to say I won that trip to Hawaii. I did not win that trip to Hawaii. You and I earned that trip to Hawaii. But unfortunately, which is going on right now, which unfortunately we were not able to go on. So instead, this weekend, my husband and I are going to Florida on our honeymoon. Okay, we've been married forever, but I keep telling everybody I'm going on my honeymoon because we never went on a honeymoon, and we've not gone anywhere since we got married, just the two of us. So I'm like, I'm going on my honeymoon. I'm going to fill my love bucket, I keep telling people. So I worked really, really hard. So now I'm going to get to play really, really hard. So, well, thank you, Farron. Thank you very much. So because I worked really hard, I'm going to get to play hard. Not that I play hard, but I like to play. I like to relax, and I packed 7 books. 7 books. Because I will read a book a day, normally, when I'm on vacation, and I have the time to read a book. So I'm going to play hard because I worked hard. And I thank you all so, so much for helping me earn that trip. It was a huge accomplishment for myself. I had a lot of pride in working with all of you, and thank you very much to everybody who helped me earn that trip. But I didn't get to go. It was supposed to be to Fiji, and then they moved it from Fiji to Hawaii, and then we were just unable to attend. But everybody's posting all their pictures, and they're having a great time, and yeah, I'm not jealous. I'm not, because I'm getting to go to Florida with my husband. All right, so we're going to do work hard, play hard on this super fun. I mean, this is nothing fancy. This is a Costco sweatshirt, but I like these Costco sweatshirts because they're super soft, and they're big and oversized, and something that, you know, when you're in someplace warm and then the sun goes down and it gets cool, you just want to throw it over your clothes. So it's nice. It's got room. It's not so tight. So it's a bigger sweatshirt, which is what I like. So we're going to do work hard, play hard, and we're going to use 2 colors. We're going to use Regal and Fig. They go very well together. We're going to do, I was going to do work hard, play. I'm going to do hard in the same color and work and play in a different color. So I think I'm going to do work and play in Regal and hard in Fig. That's my plan anyway. So when you inking is really no different than chalk. It's permanent when you heat set it, and you just have to be just a little more careful because it doesn't wash off, where chalk is removable so you can wash it off. So every time I touch an ink container, I'm going to look at my fingers, and I'm going to make sure that I don't have ink on my fingers, because if I have ink on my fingers and I touch my fabric, I'm probably not going to get it off. Depends on the color and if I heat set it or not, and if I can get it off. But you can basically use ink on anything that you can heat set. So anything that you can iron or you can put it in an oven. So things that you put in an oven would be ceramics, glass, stainless steel, things that can get hot. You wouldn't put wood or plastic or those things in an oven. Things that you can iron, obviously, are fabric. So it completely opens up your possibilities of things that you can create on. Because that's one of the beautiful things about this product is it's not a one and done craft. I can't just make chalkboards. I can create this sentiment on pretty much any surface that I choose to, and if I can use different mediums so I can get totally different results with the same transfer, and because it's reusable, it gives me the option to do that. So it's really, really a versatile craft. It's a good value for your money. One of the many reasons why I love it. So what I've learned about inking, I'm going to say chalking, and I really mean inking because we're putting on fabric, so we are inking, we are not chalking. When you ink on a sweatshirt, we love sweatshirts, right? You know that feeling on the inside of a new sweatshirt? Oh yeah, that fuzzy, soft, yeah. It's gonna come off all over your ink mat. So when I stick my ink mat in here, and you don't have to use an ink mat, it's just a very nice tool to have when you're gonna ink, because it does a couple things. It holds your fabric in place, number one. It holds your fabric in place, and number two, it prevents the ink from bleeding through to the other side of the fabric. So it is a very nice thing. If you're not going to use an ink mat, just make sure you put something in between your layers to prevent that bleeding. The other beautiful thing to me is the stickiness, but of course the stickiness, as it's now holding my sweatshirt down, all that beautiful fuzzy stuff is going to come off on my ink mat. And when I go to pull my ink mat out, it is not going to be sticky anymore because it's got all that fuzz on it. So you do have to care for your ink mats, and you simply rinse it under cold water, and that fuzz will come off, just like it comes off of the back of a transfer. You can, over time, if you don't do it, and then you find you need to do it, you can also spray them with Windex and take your paste scraper, this fancy little tool. Oops, sorry. All cockeyed there. You can spray them with Windex, let them sit for a minute, and then carefully scrape your ink mat off as well. And that will also help you remove that fuzz. Because over time, you know, like anything that's sticky, that keeps touching, especially the inside of a fuzzy sweatshirt, right? It loses that stick. But it's very easy to get the stick back. It's just, you know, something that you need to care for. So my ink mat is in between so that I have... I feel like you guys are just not in the right place today. Okay, so my ink mat's in between, so my fabric is not going to, my ink isn't going to bleed between the two layers. And this is going to go very, very quickly. So I got to do all my talking because pretty soon, bing, bang, boom, we're going to be done, right? So I'm going to take my transfer, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to write the name of the transfer on the back. Work hard, play hard. This is one of the new transfers. So I have gotten all fancy and I've started writing the year on the back so I can keep my transfers straight by catalog. So I'm going to take my transfer, I'm going to carefully remove its backer sheet. The backer sheet is very important because I'm going to store my transfer on here when I'm all done. So I take my very sticky transfer, I'm going to flip it over. Now I could get fancy, I could put it at an angle or do something fun like that, but I'm going to put it just straight on, and I'm just going to smoosh out my air. It's a very technical term for making sure that you don't have any air bleed or any air in between. Do make sure that you are straight and centered where you want to be. Okay, so we're going to do two colors. I'm going to move my little arm over a little bit because I want to not get my ink. I'll keep my ink off to the side. And we're going to do hard in Regal and work and play, I'm sorry, hard in Fig and work and play we're going to do in Regal. So I'm going to take my squeegee, and I'm going to dip it in my ink. Now ink is a little different than chalk in the sense it doesn't dry out like chalk does. So you don't have to worry about adding water to it. You don't add water to it. You don't have to stir it. It doesn't, you know, the pigment typically does not separate. Yeah, I did it right. All of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm doing it the wrong colors. I'm, you know, kind of known for that. So you don't have to stir it. You don't have to add water to it. And it also doesn't dry as quickly. So it gives you a little more wiggle room as far as I'm not worried about things drying on my transfer. So I'm just going to carefully, you know, squeegee across, make sure that I'm completely covered, set it aside, check my fingers, make sure I don't have any ink on my fingers, and I'm going to grab another squeegee and I'm going to move on to Regal. I'm going to get that on our heart. So I like to ink, very much enjoy inking, because again, the possibilities of all the things that you can create on, the pillowcases, the aprons, the tea towels, pajamas. I mean, there's just so many fun things that you can create with fabric. So I really do enjoy inking, and I really appreciate the fact that I can use the same transfers that I use with chalk. So I'm now just squeegeeing off all my excess. I don't need to waste it. I'll just put it right back in my container. Ink lasts a really long time. So now I'm just going to carefully remove it. Pull it up so you can see it. I'm going to stick this in my water bath so I can give it a quick bath. It's also going to need to be defuzzed because the back of my transfer is full of fuzz. So now I check my fingers, make sure I don't have any chalk. Ink, see, I'm going to keep doing that. And I need to remove my ink mat. And I have ink on my finger. And didn't I just say, check your fingers, Maria? And I did get it on it, but I got it on the inside, so thankful for that. I'm just going to use my wipe here a little bit. I have found if you use a disinfectant wipe, sometimes the ink will come off. I've also found if you use a Tide pen. There we go, I got it off. So, oh, I'm sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. But just on the edge of the inside of my sweatshirt, I had ink on my finger, so I got it on the sweatshirt. Okay, so I'm going to carefully remove my ink mat, like so. Don't do that, because then your ink touches itself. Your ink is wet, so it doesn't dry as quickly as chalk does. It does take an extra minute. And I'm going to pull this sideways, and I'm going to, oops, wrong way. I'm going to dry it. Once it's dry, I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper over it, and I am going to iron it. You're going to iron it with a regular everyday iron for 4 minutes, and then you're going to flip it inside out, and you're going to iron it for 4 minutes on the other side. I have a fancy tool called a Cricut Easy Press, so it makes it go faster. Then I only have to do it for 30 seconds. But do not invest in a fancy tool unless you have multiple uses for it. I have it because I was prior to Chalk Couture, more of a Cricut user than I am now. I don't use my Cricut half as much as I used to. But it is just a fancy iron. So I'm just drying it so that I can put my piece of parchment paper over it. It just heat sets better once your ink is wet or dry. Okay, so I'm getting ready to heat set. Takes a minute longer for ink to dry. So I'm going to take my piece of parchment paper. I'm going to stick it over my sentiment like so. I'm going to take my iron. In your case, you guys are just going to iron it. I'm take my Easy Press. I'm going to hold it down for 30 seconds. Oh, shoot. Don't do that. I've done this before. Hang on. Take your mat out. Because you will melt your mat if you iron on top of it. Oops, my ink was not dry. Where's my little ironing board guy? Hello, Mr. Ironing Board guy. There he is. You need your ironing board guy. My ink was not dry, so we'll see how this works. Should work. I've never done it when my ink wasn't dry. All right, do over. Okay. Whew. I did that once where I kept that mat underneath it, and then I used my easy press and it bubbled up because it's not meant to take 340 degrees into temperature. Okay, so I'm just holding it on, waiting for my 30 seconds to go by. So while we're waiting for it to heat set, I'm Making Marie. I'm your Chalk Couture independent designer. I make a live demonstration video every evening at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you want to like and follow my channel, that would be awesome. If you're watching me on YouTube, thank you for watching me on YouTube. Same thing, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I do upload my live videos from Facebook onto YouTube. I also am on TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest, so you can find me in all kinds of different places. So thank you to everybody who takes the time to follow me and come back every night. I mean, it's awesome, and chit-chat with me. I like to talk to people as I craft, so thank you for talking to me while we create. If you are not in the Making Maria Crafty community and you are not a designer, you are more than welcome to join. It's a free group, and it's a group of us, fellow people that love chalk. I'm going to do it more than once because my ink wasn't dry. It's just a group of us that love chalk, and we get together and people post pictures of their projects, and we answer questions and help each other out. I post funny memes, I post specials and deals, and we do all kinds of fun things in there. And it's free to join. So if you're not in there, you can comment, add me, and I'll send you the link, or you can go right in your Facebook search bar and type in Making Maria's Crafty Community and request to join. It's just an awesome, fun little group. Also, we're having a super fun event coming up on the 24th of March. It's Girls Virtual Night In, and we're going to play with makeup and nails, and we're going to create a project. So that's in the Making Maria Crafty Community, so if you want to check out the details about that, it's a virtual event, but if you can't come on the 24th, don't sweat that. You can watch it anytime, but we're going to have fabulous prizes, and we're going to play fun games, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to giggle, and have a really, really good time. So if you are interested in joining that, message me, or it's right in the Crafty Community, right underneath the, it's just tagged as an announcement, so you'll see it right when you get on the top. So that is what I have got going on. Okay, my ink was not dry, so that's interesting, but it worked. And voila! Super cute, fun sweatshirt to wear on vacation. I'll take a picture of me on the beach. Because, yeah, I know, right? I'm going to Florida to a beach, and I'm going to have a sweatshirt on. But, you know, if you know me, you know I'm always cold, so I will probably have the sweatshirt on. But thank you for hanging out with me. If you want to check out any of these amazing products, you can go right to www.chalkcouture.com/makingmaria. If you know anybody who is a boss babe, work hard, play hard is a super fun t-shirt, sweatshirt to make for a fellow female friend. It also is super cute on kids t-shirts and gentlemen. So I think what's nice about this particular transfer is it's really universal. It kind of can apply to just about anybody. If you can please do this, it also helps me tremendously. So thank you to everybody who takes the time to push that button, even if you're watching the replay, because I do realize most of you watch my replay. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will hopefully be back at you tomorrow night. We leave this weekend, so I'm hoping to be live one more time before I go. But thank you, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks, guys.